Up until now, we have been talking about whether we have a hero culture or a team culture in how we get things done, whether we focus on budget or outcomes in regards to cross-organizational collaboration, and whether we act like information is power or if we are being transparent in order to build trust and for knowledge to travel fast. Our behaviors and processes are an indication of whether we are an organization that focuses on individual influence and power, or if we rely on rules and hierarchies to operate, or if we indeed focus on performance and collaboration. All of this has mainly focused on getting things done on the floor, so to speak. Now we get to the good stuff from a leadership perspective. In leadership, one of the main jobs is to ensure that the operation is running smoothly, that problems are addressed and handled, things that might jeopardize our success and profits. In order to do so, we should prefer to find out about problems early, but the chances of us finding out early depends on both how we find out about problems and how we react to problems. So we kind of need to talk about them at the same time. The first aspect is if we act as if ignorance absolves responsibility. Being unaware might be a strategy for inaction and shirking responsibility. You never have to defend doing nothing if you didn't know the problem. On the other side, we act as if awareness drives progress. The more we know, the earlier we know it, the faster we can act on it. And knowing about the problem, even if we don't intend to solve it right at this moment, is always better than ignorance. The second aspect is how we react to the information we're given. If we are prone to scapegoating, in other words, that we focus on who's to blame for the problem, people are going to be less willing to report problems early. In fact, they will likely try to hide it for as long as possible. If I'm not helped by being transparent about problems, I will be more prone to hide the information or downplay the consequences. However, if we act as if we are all in this together, when it's our collective job to reach the overarching goals and operational excellence that we as a company have set out to reach, then I'm more likely to be transparent. This means that our goals across organizational lines will need to be shared. We need to have a shared responsibility for reaching them. If I am only being evaluated on my small part of the entire organizational system, I will sub-optimize for my own benefit. Your problems are not my problems. We need to have a shared responsibility and shared risk. If your problems causes the company to miss our goal, I fail as well. Now, a don't want to know or slow probing for problems like a yearly survey might not be a sign of any kind of malicious intent. We might actually have a case of overworked leadership, who simply don't have the bandwidth to take on any more issues, or simply don't have the time to engage. This is a problem we really should be solving. This usually signals a lack of established way of working with improvements, that we are unaccustomed to taking charge and solving shared or even our own problems. Maybe there are too many bureaucratic steps, so we end up feeling that even small improvements take too much time and effort. What we, in the end, want to reach is a situation where we can easily execute and evaluate improvement experiments. I mean, reviewing is good, sure. It's good that we talk about it, but without the actions, we won't get far. With fully autonomous teams, who already have the mandate to solve their own problems, we increase the speed of problem solving. Management might not even be aware that there's a problem. The teams might report that there was a problem, but we solved it. Maybe the management want to know about the problem, but should at least be quick about giving mandate to solve it. A lot of organizations, when faced with a problem, fall into the habit of asking who owns the problem, like it's not everyone's responsibility to ensure that things run smoothly. The question shouldn't be who owns the problem, but rather who can fix it and what support do they need. Instead, we get stuck in discussions about who should pay for the problem, whose resources need to do something about it. Budget-focused rather than outcome-focused. Worst case, we focus more on who should be blamed, reprimanded, and punished for causing the problem. And, as I have been saying, if this is how we normally act, we will probably not even be aware of the majority of our problems, and even less equipped to solve them. If we combine all of this, we start to see a pattern of behavior. And if we want to strive towards the right, we need to start asking ourselves what is driving the behaviors that pull us to the left. Those are the behaviors that we need to change. Now, are these behaviors driven by our processes or by our culture? Which do we need to tweak? And then we are confronted with the last and still missing row: our organization's ability to change and adapt. So, how do we react when there is a need for change? Next time on the Performance